Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, murder in the first degree, premeditated homicide, is the most serious charge tried in our criminal courts. Now, you have heard a long and complex case, ladies and gentlemen, and it is now your duty to sit down and try and separate the facts from the fantasy. One man is dead. The life of another is at stake. If there is reasonable doubt in your mind as to the guilt of the accused, then you must declare him not guilty. If, however, there is no reasonable doubt, then he must be found guilty. Whichever way you decide, the verdict must be unanimous. I urge you to deliberate honestly and thoughtfully. You are faced with a grave responsibility. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
The jury will retire.
Hey, anybody want any chewing gum? John, thank you. Hey, you know something?
I know lots of things. I'm an advertiser.
You know, it's hot.
I never would have done that if she had told me. Would you?
I suppose not. I kind of forgot.
All I've done all day is sweat.
Yeah, I bet sure I sweat like that kid who was trying.
Yeah, you think they'd at least air condition the place? Almost drunk dead in court.
My taxes are high enough.
Yeah, well, this should go fast anyway.
Yes, it's hot.
All right, folks. Everyone's accounted for. If you need anything, I'll be right outside this door. Just stop.
Thank you.
Hey, that's my job.
Did he just lock that door?
Yes, you did.
What do they think we are, crooks?
Well, they lock us up for a little while.
And then they lock that kid up forever.
Right,
That's okay by me.
Never knew they did that.
Sure they locked the door. What did you think?
I don't know. It just never occurred to me.
Shall we all admit right now that it's hot and humid, and their tempers are short?
Yes, it's been a pretty hard week.
I feel just fine.
I wonder what's been going on down at the office. You know how it is in advertising. In 6 days, my job can be gone, and the whole company too. They are not going to like this.
Well, figure this is our duty.
I didn't object to doing my duty. I just mentioned I might not have a job by the time I get back.
Ask him to hire you, he's rich. Look at that suit.
Oh, is it custom tailored?
Yes, it is.
You know, I have an uncle who's a tailor.
How does he do?
Well, not too well. You know, a friend of his. That's a friend of my uncle. A tailor. Well, this friend wanted to be on this jury in my place.
Why didn't you let him? I haven't done anything to miss this.
And get caught or something? You know what kind of a fine you can pay for anything like that? Well, anyway, this friend of my uncle's was on a jury once, about 10 years ago, a case just about like this one.
So what happened?
They let him off, reasonable doubt. And you know, about 8 years later, they found out that he'd actually done it anyway.
Oh.
A guilty man, a murderer was turned loose in the streets.
Well, did they get him?
Well, they couldn't.
Why not?
A man can't be held in double jeopardy. Unless it's a hung jury, they can't try a man twice for the same crime.
Oh, well, that's not going to happen here.
6 days. They should have finished it in 2. Talk. Did you ever hear so much talk about nothing?
No.
Well, I guess they're entitled.
Everyone gets a fair trial. That's the system. Well, I suppose you can't say anything against it.
Hey, how'd y'all like the business about the knife? Did you ever hear a phonier story?
Well, look, you got to expect that. You know what you did.
Yeah, you bought a switch knife that night.
And then you lost.
Oh, a hole in his pocket.
A hole in his pocket.
An awful way to kill your father, a knife in the chest.
Look at the kind of people they are. You know them.
Oh, what's the matter? You got a cold?
Ah, Lulu. Boy, these up with a cold can kill you.
Yeah, I had one last year. Well, I was on vacation, too.
All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, let's take seats.
Oh, yes, this better go fast because I have tickets to West Side Story for 2 nights. I must be the only gal in the whole world who hasn't seen it. All right, Your Honor, start the show.
How about sitting down? The gentleman at the window, how about sitting down?
Oh, I'm sorry. tough to figure, isn't it? The kid kills his father. Bing! Just like that. Well, it's the elephant. They let the kids run wild. They just serve them right.
The better proofs of some emotion you may have, or some dislike for some group.
Well, we all agreed that it was hot.
And letter takers would get short.
Yeah, that's if we disagree, but this is open and shut. Let's get it done.
All right. Now, you ladies and gentlemen, do this any way you want to. I mean, I'm not going to make any rules. If we want to discuss it first and then vote, or we could vote right now. Let's see how it stands. All right. Well, anybody doesn't want to vote?
That was easy.
All right. Well, all those voting guilty, raise your hands. What? Okay, that's 11 for guilty. Okay, not guilty.
Oh.
Hey,
That's 11 to 1. 11 guilty, 1 not guilty.
Always
Where do we stand?
do you believe he's not guilty? I don't know.
After 6 days, he doesn't know.
In 6 days, I could learn calculus. This is ABC.
I don't believe it's as simple as ABC.
I never saw a guiltier man in my life.
Yeah.
What does a guilty man look like? He's not guilty until he says he's guilty. Are we to vote on his face?
You sat right in court like I didn't saw the same thing. He's a dangerous killer. You can see it.
Where do you look to see if a man's a killer?
Well,
Tell me. I'd like to know what the facial characteristics of a killer are. Maybe you know something I don't.
What is there about the case that makes you think the boy's innocent?
He's 19 years old.
that's old enough. He knifed his own father 4 inches into the chest. An innocent little 19-year-old kid.
I agree with you, the boy's guilty, but I think we should try to avoid emotionally colored arguments.
All right, look, they proved it a dozen different ways. Do you want me to list them?
Yeah.
No.
Well, do you believe that stupid story he told?
Now.
Do you believe the kid's story?
I don't know whether I believe it or not. Maybe I don't.
So what'd you vote not guilty for?
There were 11 votes for guilty. It's not easy for me to raise my hand and send a boy off to die without talking about it first.
excuse me.
I said it was easy for me.
Or me.
No one.
He's still just as guilty, whether it's an easy vote or a hard vote.
Absolutely.
Is there some reason that something wrong with the fact I voted fast?
Not necessarily.
Well, listen, I think the guy's guilty, and you couldn't change my mind if you talked for 100 years.
I'm not trying to change your mind.
Just what are you thinking of?
I want to talk for a while. Look, this kid has been kicked around all his life, living in a slum. His mother dead since he was 9. It's not a very good head start. He's a tough, angry kid. And you know why slum kids get that way? It's because we knock them over the head once a day, every day. And I just think we overview words, that's all.
All right. It's hard. Sure. It was hard for me. You know, everything I've got, I fought for. I worked my way through college. It was a long time ago. Perhaps you do forget. I fought. Yes, but I never killed.
Right.
Yeah, I know what it's like, and I never killed anybody.
I've been kicked around too. Wiggly, you worked in an attic. The big boys were buying the We all know.
Back in my country, in Europe, kicking was a science, but let's try to find something better than that.
I don't mind telling you this, mister. We don't owe the kid a thing. He got a fair trial, didn't he? You know what that trial cost? He's lucky he got it. But we're all grown up here. You're not going to tell us we're supposed to believe him, knowing what he is. I've lived among them all my life. You can't believe a word they say. You know that.
I don't know that. What a terrible thing for a man to believe. Since when is dishonesty a great characteristic? You have no monopoly on the truth.
All right, it's not Sunday. We don't need a sermon.
What this man says is very dangerous.
I don't see the need for all this arguing. We ought to be able to behave like ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
All right, if you insist.
Thank you.
Sure.
And if we're going to discuss the case, let's discuss the facts.
I think that's a good idea. We have a job to do, let's do it.
If nobody minds, before we start, I'm going to close the window. It's blowing on my bed.
Oh, and if you don't mind, I'd like to have the window open.
It's blowing on me.
Don't you want a little air? It's summer. It's hot.
It was very uncomfortable.
Listen, there's 12 of us in this room. That's the only window, if you don't mind.
Some nights too, you know.
So do the rest of us.
Couldn't you trade chairs with someone at the other end of the table?
All right. If someone is willing to trade seats, I will leave the window open.
Excuse me, take my chair.
Thank you. Shall we get back to the case?
Yeah, let's.
I may have an idea here. I'm just thinking out loud now, but it seems to me it's up to us to convince this gentleman that we're right and he's wrong. Maybe if we each talk for a minute or two, he'll try it on her side.
I like that.
That sounds fair. Let's suppose if we go once around the table.
Yes, start it off.
Right. Oh, we'll start with you.
Oh, well, I just think he's guilty. Well, I thought it was obvious.
What way was it obvious?
Well, I mean that nobody proved otherwise.
Nobody has to prove otherwise. Innocent until proven guilty. The burden of proof rests with the prosecution. The defendant doesn't even have to open his mouth. That's the Constitution. The Fifth Amendment. You've heard of it?
Well, everyone has.
Well, sure I have. I know what it is. Well, what I mean is, well, anyway, I just think he's guilty.
No reason, just guilty. A life is at stake here.
Okay, let's get to the facts. Number one, let's start with the old man who lived on the second floor, right underneath the room where the murder took place. At 10 minutes after 12 on the night of the killing, he said that he heard loud noises in the upstairs apartment.
That's what he said.
He said it sounded like a fight. Then he heard the kid say to his father, "I'm gonna kill you." A second later, he heard a body falling and he ran to the door of the apartment, looked out and saw the kid running down the stairs and out of the house. Then he called the police. They found the father with the knife in his chest.
And the coroner fixed the time of death at around midnight.
Right, now what else do you want?
It doesn't seem to fit.
The boy's entire story is flimsy. He claimed he was at the movies. That's a little ridiculous, isn't it? He couldn't even remember what picture he saw.
That's right. Did you hear that? You're absolutely right.
Oh, and that kid didn't even have ticket stub.
Who keeps taking stuff to the movies?
It's true enough.
I suppose. But I mean, the cashier didn't remember it.
And the ticket taker didn't either.
Look, what about the woman across the street? If her testimony don't prove it, then nothing does.
That's right. She saw the killing.
Right.
Let's go in order.
Just a minute. Here's a woman who's lying in bed and can't sleep. It's hot, you know? Anyway, she wakes up, she looks out the window, and right across the street, she sees the kid stick the knife into his father.
How can she be sure it was the kid when she saw it through the windows of a passing elevated train?
She's known the kid all his life. His window's right opposite hers across the yellow track, and she swore she saw him do it.
I heard her swear to it.
Okay, and they proved in court that you can look through the windows of a passing L train at night. See what's happening on the other side. They proved it.
They did, sure did.
Weren't you telling us a minute or two ago that you couldn't trust them? That you couldn't believe them?
So,
Let me ask you something. How come you believe her? She's one of them too, isn't she?
you're a pretty smart fellow, Warren.
Now take it easy.
Come on, sit down. What are you letting him get you all upset for? Relax.
Ladies and gentlemen, they did take us out to the woman's room where we looked through the windows of a passing out train, didn't we?
Yes, they did.
Weren't you able to see what happened on the other side?
I didn't see as well as they told me I would see, but I did see what happened on the other side.
You see? You see?
Let's calm down now.
All right.
It's yours.
was 8 o'clock, not 7.
Yes, it was 8 o'clock.
They heard the father hit the boy twice and saw the boy walk angrily out of the house.
Right, exactly.
What does that prove?
Well, it doesn't exactly prove anything. It's just another piece of the picture. I never said it proved anything.
Anything else?
No. I don't know. Most of it's been said already. I mean, we could talk all day about this thing, but I think we're wasting our time.
I don't.
Neither do I. Go on.
All right, well, let's look at the kid's record. He stole a car, he was arrested for mugging, I think they said he stabbed somebody in the arm. Right. He was picked up for knife fighting, and, at 15, he was in reform school.
And they sent him to reform school for stabbing someone.
Oh, this is a very fine boy.
Ever since he was 5 years old, his father beat him up regularly. He used his fists.
So would I on a kid like that.
You're right. It's the kids nowadays. It's the way they are, you know, they don't listen.
They don't.
I got a boy, and when he was 8 years old, I caught him in some of the neighborhood gang fighting and out in the street. After all I said about staying away from those toughs, he goes out and joins them. I gave him a whipping that he would never forget. You know what? When he was 15, he hit me, a woman, his own mother, in the face. He's big, you know. I haven't seen him in 3 years. I don't know, maybe I'm better off. Rock kid. I hate tough kids. You work your heart out. All right, let's just get on with it.
We're missing the point here. This boy, let's say he is the product of a filthy neighborhood, broken home. We can't help that. We're not here to go into the reasons why slums are breeding grounds for criminals. They are! I know it, and so do you. Children who come out of slum backgrounds are potential menaces to society.
You said it there. I don't want any part of them, believe me.
I've lived in a slum my whole life.
Now, wait a second.
I used to play in a backyard that was filled with garbage. Maybe it smells on me.
Now let's be reasonable. There's nothing personal.
There is something personal.
Come on now, he didn't mean you. Let's not be so sensitive.
Who did he mean? I can understand the sensitivity.
Let's stop the bickering.
We're wasting time.
All right. It's your turn.
All right? I had a peculiar feeling about this trial. I felt that the defense counsel never really conducted a thorough cross-examination. Too many questions were left unasked.
Well, it doesn't change my opinion about the guilt of the kid. Still, I agree with you. Defense counsel was bad.
So,
This is a point.
what about facts?
So many questions were never answered.
What about the questions that were answered? For instance, let's talk about that cute little switch knife. You know, the one that fine, upright kid admitted buying.
All right, let's talk about it. Let's get it in here and look at it. I'd like to see it again. District Foreman?
You know, we all know what it looks like. I don't see why we have to look at it again. What do you think?
The gentleman has the right to see exhibits and evidence.
Thank you.
Okay with me.
All right, this knife is a pretty strong piece of evidence, don't you agree?
I do.
Now let's get the sequence of events right as they relate to the switch knife.
The boy admits going out of his house at 8 o'clock after being slapped by his father.
Or punched.
Or punched, he went to a neighborhood store and bought a switch knife. The storekeeper was arrested the following day when he admitted selling it to Floyd.
Yeah, I think everyone agrees that it's an unusual knife. I mean, it's pretty hard to forget something like that.
The storekeeper identified the knife and said it was the only one of its kind that he had in stock. Now, why did the boy get it?
Oh, as a present for a friend of his, he says.
All right so far?
Right.
Next, the boy claimed that on his way home, the knife must have fallen through a hole in his coat pocket, that he never saw it again. Now that's quite a story, ladies and gentlemen. gentlemen. Now, you know what actually happened. The boy took the knife home. A few hours later, stabbed his father with it, and even remembered to wipe off the fingerprints.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Good job.
Now, everyone connected with the case identified this knife. Now, are you trying to tell me that somebody picked it up off the street, went up to the boy's house, and stabbed his father with it just to be amusing?
No, I'm saying it's possible that the boy did lose a knife and someone stabbed the father with a similar knife. It's possible.
You're serious! Take a look at that knife. It's a very strange knife. I've never seen one like it before in my life. Neither did the storekeeper who sold it to him. Now, are you trying to make us accept a pretty incredible coincidence?
I'm not trying to make anyone accept it. I'm saying it's possible.
And I'm saying it's not possible.
Oh, no!
What are you trying to do?
Hey, what do you think? Who do you think you
All
are?
right, quiet, let's be quiet.
Where did you get that?
I got it from a little junk shop around the corner from the boy's house. It cost me $2.
Now listen to me.
I'm listening.
You pulled a real smart trick here, but you proved absolutely zero. Maybe there are 10 knives like that. So what?
Maybe there are.
The boy lied, and you know it.
Maybe he didn't lie. Maybe he did go to the movies, and maybe the reason the cashier didn't see him was because he snuck into the movies, and maybe he was too ashamed to say so. Is there anybody here who didn't sneak into movies once or twice when they were younger?
I did it. Really, not even once.
We didn't have.
So maybe he went to the movies and maybe he didn't. He may have lied. You think he lied?
Now that's a stupid question. Sure you lied.
You?
You don't have to ask me that. You know my answer. You lied.
You think he lied?
I don't know.
Now, wait a second. What are you, the guy's lawyer? Listen, there's still 11 of us in this room who think he's guilty. You're alone. I really don't know what you're trying to accomplish. I mean, if you want to be stubborn and hang this jury, he'll be tried again and found guilty.
Exactly.
Sure as he's born.
You're probably right.
What are you going to do about it? You'll be here all night.
It's only one night. A man may die.
Oh, now come on.
Yes, that's true.
I think we ought to get on with it now.
Right, let's get going here.
How do you like this guy?
Well, what do you say? You're the one holding up the show.
Yeah, obviously, you don't think the boy's guilty.
I have a doubt in my mind.
But you haven't really presented anything to us that makes it possible for us to understand your doubt. Now, there's the old man downstairs. He heard it. He heard the kid shriek it out.
The woman across the L track, she saw it.
We know he bought a switch knife that night, and we don't know where he really was at the movie.
Earlier that night, the kid and his father did have a fight.
You're a violent kid all the way. While it doesn't prove anything,
Still, you know.
All right, I have a proposition. I want to call for a vote. I want you 11 ladies and gentlemen to vote by secret ballot. I'll abstain. If there are still 11 votes for guilty, I won't stand alone. We'll take a guilty verdict in right now.
That sounds fair. Is everyone agreed?
I certainly am. Let's go.
Write down your votes.
Guilty with a capital G. Secretly guilty with a capital G. Pass it down, folks. All right.
Get out of here.
Let's go home. Is this everyone?
Yes, it's everybody. Okay. Guilty. 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 Six guilty. And guilty. And guilt. Right. Guilty. Not guilty. And guilt.
How do you like that?
Who was it? I think we have a right to know.
All right, who did it? What idiot changed his vote?
Is that any way to talk about a man's life?
Whose life are you talking about? The life of a dead man or the life of a murderer?
I want to know who.
So do I.
Excuse me, this was a secret ballot.
No one looked while we did it, but now I want to know.
A secret ballot. We agreed on that point, no? If the lady or gentleman wishes for it to remain a secret,
What do
they
you mean?
have-
There are no secrets in here.
Yeah.
I know who it was. What's the matter with you? You come in here and you go guilty, and then this slick creature starts to tear your heart out with stories about a poor little kid who just couldn't help becoming a murderer, so you change your vote? If that is the most sickening
Hold
thing.
it.
I agree with you, the man's guilty, but let's be fair.
Hold it. Be fair. That's just what I'm saying. We're trying to put a guilty man into the chair where he belongs, and all of a sudden, we're paying attention to fairy tales. Now you listen to me.
Let's try to keep this organized, ladies, gentlemen.
It's not organized, but let's try to keep it civilized.
Please! There is something I wish to say here. I have always known that in this country a person was entitled to have unpopular opinions. This is the reason I came here. I wanted to have the right to disagree.
Do you disagree with us?
I do. In one situation, however, I agree with you, but that is not the point I wish to make. In my own country, I am ashamed to say
Oh, now when we have to listen to the whole history of your country.
All right, it's always wise to bear in mind what's happened in other countries when people are not allowed to disagree. But we are, so let's stick to the subject.
Yes. Hey, let's stick to the subject.
Thank you.
I want to ask you, what made you change your vote?
Yeah, I want to know too. You haven't told us yet.
What makes you think I changed my vote?
Because I do. Now get on with it.
There's nothing for him to tell you. He didn't change his vote. I did.
Now I was gonna tell you, you seem so sure of yourself.
Sorry. Okay, now
Maybe you'd like to know why.
let me tell you why that
The
kid.
woman wants to talk.
Thank you. This gentleman chose to stand alone against us. That's his right. It takes a great deal of courage to stand alone, even if you believe in something very strongly. He left the verdict up to us. He gambled for support, and I gave it to him. I want to hear more. The vote is 10-2.
That's fine. If the speech is over, let's go on.
Look, now that we've kind of calmed down, why, I got a little excited a minute ago. You know how it is. Didn't mean to get nasty. Nothing personal.
Okay.
Supposing you answer me this. If the kid didn't kill him, who did?
As far as I know, we're supposed to determine whether or not the boy on trial is guilty. We're not concerned with other people's votes.
I suppose, but who else had a motive?
Well, the kid's father was along in years, perhaps an old grudge.
Oh, that's
Remember, it's guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. This is an important thing to remember.
Everyone's a lawyer. Supposing you explain to us what your reasonable doubts are.
This is not easy. So far, it's only a feeling I have. A feeling. Perhaps you don't understand.
No, I don't.
A feeling. What are we gonna do? Spend the night talking about your feelings? What about facts?
Well, you said a mouthful. Look, the old man heard the kid yell, "I'm gonna kill you." A second later, he heard the father's body falling, and he saw the boy running out of the house. 15 seconds after that.
Where's
Okay.
the reasonable doubt in that?
That's right, and let's not forget the woman across the street. She looked into the open window and saw the boy stab his father. She saw
Well,
it.
if that's not enough for you,
It's not enough for me.
What is enough for you? I'd like to know.
How do you like this guy? It's like talking into a dead phone.
The woman saw the killing through the windows of a moving elevated elevated train. The train has 5 cars, and she saw it through the windows of the last 2 cars. She remembers the most insignificant details.
Well, what have you got to say about that?
I don't know, it just doesn't sound right to me.
Well, supposing you think about it. Let's play some tic-tac-toe. We might as well pass the time.
This is not a game.
Now, wait a minute.
This is a man's life.
Who do you think you are?
Hey, now, take it easy.
I've got a good mind to walk around this table and slap him.
Please, I don't want any fights in here.
Did you see him? The nerve, the absolute
All
nerve.
right, forget it, it don't mean anything.
How about everybody just sitting down, okay?
This isn't a game. Who does he think he is?
Weren't we talking about elevated trains?
Yes, we were.
So?
All right. How long does it take an elevated train going at top speed to pass a given point?
What's that got to do with anything?
How long would it take? Guess.
I wouldn't have the slightest idea.
Neither would I.
I don't think they mentioned it.
What do you think?
10 to 12 seconds, maybe?
I'd say that's a fair guess. Anyone else?
I would think about 10 seconds, perhaps.
About 10 seconds, yes.
All right, we're agreeing 10 seconds. What are you getting at?
This. An elevated train takes 10 seconds to pass a given point. That given point is the window in which the killing took place. Now, when the train is going by, you can almost reach out of the window and touch the train, right?
That's right. I tried it.
So, all right, well, let me ask you this. Has anybody ever lived right next to the L tracks?
Oh, I live close enough.
They make a lot of noise, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
I've lived right next to the L tracks, and when the window is open, the train goes by, the noise is almost unbearable. You can't hear yourself think.
Okay, you can't hear yourself think. Get to the point.
The old man who lived downstairs heard the voice say.
He didn't say it. He screamed it.
Right.
The old man heard the voice scream, "I'm going to kill you," and then 1 second later he heard the body fall. 1 second, that's the testimony, right?
Right.
And the woman across the street said she looked through the windows of the last 2 cars and saw the body fall, right?
Right?
So,
Last 2 cars. The last 2 cars!
What are you giving us here?
The old man, okay, look, here it is. Elevated trains takes 10 seconds to pass a given point. That's 2 seconds per car. That means the train had been going by the old man's windows for at least 6 seconds, maybe more, before the body fell, according to the woman. Now, that means the old man would have had to heard the voice say, "I'm going to kill you," when the train is roaring past his nose. It's not possible he could have heard it.
What do you mean? Sure he could have heard
An
it.
L train going by?
The boy yelled it out.
An L train makes a lot of noise.
It's enough for me.
It's enough for me, too.
I don't think he could have heard it.
Maybe the old man didn't hear it. I mean, with the elbow.
What are you people talking about? Are you calling the old man a liar?
Something doesn't fit.
It stands to reason. Well, you're crazy. Why would he lie? What's he got to gain?
Attention!
You keep coming up with these right things. Why don't you send one into a newspaper? They pay $2.
What does that have to do with a man's life? Why might the old man have lied? You have a right to be heard.
Thank you.
Oh,
It's just that I've looked at him for a very long time. The seam of his jacket was split open under his arm. Did you notice that? He was a very old man with a torn jacket, and he carried 2 canes. I think I know him better than anyone here. This is a quiet, frightened, insignificant man who has been nothing all his life, who's never had recognition, his name in the newspapers. Nobody knows him after 75 years. This is a very sad thing. A man like this needs to be recognized, to be questioned, and listened to, and quoted just once. This is very important.
and you're trying to tell us he lied about a thing like this just so he can be important?
No, he wouldn't really lie, but perhaps he'd make himself believe that he heard those words and recognized the boy's face.
Well, that's the most fantastic story I've ever heard. How can you make up a thing like that?
I'm not making it
You
up.
must be making it up. People don't lie about things like that.
He made himself believe he told the truth.
What do you know about it?
I speak from experience.
What?
I am that same person.
I think we all understand now. Thank you.
You know, if you want to admit that you're a liar, it's all right by me.
Now that's too much.
She's a liar. She just told us
She
so.
did not say she was a liar. She was explaining.
Didn't you admit that you're a liar?
Please. She was explaining the circumstances so we can understand why the old man might have lied. There is a difference.
A liar is a liar. That's all there is to it.
Please, have some compassion.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, we have our job and our duty here.
I think they've covered it.
I hope we have.
All right. Is there anything else?
Cough drop?
No, thank you.
Anybody want a cough drop?
Let's get on with it.
Thank you. Now, there's something else I'd like to point out here. I think we've proved that the old man couldn't have heard the boy say, "I'm going to kill you."
Well, I disagree.
Yeah, let's hear it through anyway.
Well, supposing the old man did hear the boy say, "I'm going to kill you," that phrase, how many times have each of us have used it? Probably hundreds. You do that one more time, Junior, I'll murder you. Come on, Rocky, kill him! We use it every day, but that doesn't mean we actually want to kill somebody.
Well, don't the circumstances alter that somewhat?
The old man was murdered.
One thing more, the phrase was, "I'm going to kill you," and the kid screamed it out at the top of his lungs.
That's the way I understand
Yeah,
it.
don't try and tell me that he didn't mean it. Anybody says a thing like that, the way he said it, they mean it.
And how they did it.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you really think the boy would shout out something like that so the whole neighborhood would hear it? I don't think so. He's much too bright for that.
Right? He's a common ignorant slob. He don't even speak good English.
He doesn't even speak good English.
The boy is clever enough.
I want to change my vote to not guilty.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
The vote is 9-3 in favor of guilty.
I'd like to know why you changed your vote.
Well, I think there's doubt.
Where? What is the doubt?
Well, there's an eye.
Oh, fine.
He talked you into believing a fairy tale.
All right, go on. Give us your reasons.
Well, there's the old man too. Maybe the old man didn't lie, but maybe he did. Maybe he doesn't like the kid.
Well, if that isn't just the end.
I think that there's reasonable doubt.
Based on what? Stories this guy made up? He ought to write for Amazing Detective Monthly. He'd make a fortune. Listen, the kid had a lawyer, didn't he? Why didn't the lawyer bring up all these points?
Well, lawyers can't think of everything.
You know, you come in here and you pull stories out of thin air. Now we're supposed to believe that the old man did get out of bed, run to the door, and see the kid beat it down the stairs 15 seconds after the kill.
Yeah, that is the testimony, I believe.
Oh, and the old man swore to this. Yes, he swore to this, only so he could be important.
Wait. Did the old man say that he ran to the door?
Ran, walked, what's the difference he got there?
No. I don't remember what he said, but I don't see how he could run.
No, he said he went. I remember it now. He went from the bedroom to the front door.
Still a distance.
Where was the bedroom again?
Down the hall somewhere.
Down the hall. We're supposed to send a man off to die because it's down the hall somewhere?
I thought you remembered everything. Don't you remember that?
No, I don't. Mr. Foreman, I'd like to take a look at diagram of the apartment, please.
Why don't we just have him run the trial over again so you can get everything straight?
The bedroom was down the hall. Do you know? Do you know exactly where it is? Please, a man's life at stake. Do you know?
I nonsense about where the body was found?
We're not. We're gonna try to find out how a man who's had 2 strokes in the last 3 years, who walks with a pair of canes, can get to the front door in 15 seconds.
He said 20 seconds.
He said 15.
How can he judge a thing like that? How does he know how long 15 seconds is? You can't judge a thing like that.
He said 15. He was very positive
He's
about it.
an old man. You saw that. Half the time he was confused. How can he be positive about anything? Well, you know.
No, I don't know. Maybe you know.
Yes, that's what you're looking for. Oh, that's right.
Oh, you need a hand?
Oh, yes, please. Thank you.
Yeah, my job.
You want this?
Yes, please.
Do me a favor, wake me up with this.
I looked at that diagram for 2 hours. Enough is enough.
Some of us are interested. Go ahead.
Thank you. All right. This is the diagram of the apartment in which the killing took place. The old man's apartment is directly beneath it and it's exactly the same. Let me refresh your memory. Here are the L tracks. Here's a bedroom, another bedroom, bathroom, living room, dining room, the kitchen. Here's the hallway, here's the front door, and here are the steps. Now, the old man was in a bed in this room. He said he got up, went out into the hall, down the hall to the front door, opened the front door just in time to see the boy racing down the stairs. Am I right?
That's the story.
That's what happened.
15 seconds after the body fell.
That's correct.
Okay, now, the bed was at the window. It's 12 feet from the bed to the bedroom door. The length of the hall is 43 feet 6 inches. The old man had to get up on the bed, get his cane, walk 12 feet, open the bedroom door, walk 43 feet, open the front door, all in 15 seconds. Do you think that that's possible?
You know it's possible.
I don't see why not.
He would have been in a hurry. He did hear the scream.
But he can't only go so fast. They had to help him into the witness stand.
You make it sound like a long walk. It's not.
For an old man who uses canes, it's a long walk.
What are you doing?
All right, I want to try this thing. I want to see how long it took him. I'm going to pace off 12 feet, which is the length of the bedroom.
You're crazy. You can't recreate a thing like that.
Oh, please! If we could just see. This is an important point.
It's a ridiculous waste of time.
Oh, let him do it.
I don't see any harm in it. It's foolish. Go ahead.
Okay, this is the door to the bedroom. How far would you say it is from here to the door of this room?
I'd say maybe 20 feet.
Just about.
Maybe 20 feet sounds about right. Okay, so from here to the door back, it's 40 feet, which is less than the length of the hall the old man had to move through, right?
A few feet, maybe.
Look, this is absolutely insane. What makes you think you can do this?
Well, we can't stop him.
You mind if I try it? According to you, it should only take 15 seconds. I think we can spare that. Anybody have a watch with a second hand?
I have.
Okay, stomp your foot when you want me to start. That'll be the body falling.
It will time you from there.
Okay, now, let's say that he keeps his cane right next to the bedside, right? Okay. I'm ready.
I'm waiting for the hand to get to 60.
Okay, he's getting out of bed. He's getting his canes. He's walking across the bedroom.
Speed it up. He walked twice as fast as that.
This is, I think, even faster than the old man walked in court.
No, it isn't.
Opening the bedroom door. Now, think I should go a little faster? I will.
Yeah, speed it up a little. Not helping.
Okay, he's halfway down the hall. All right, he's at the front door. He's opening the front door. He looks out. Stop!
Right.
What's the time?
15, 20, 30, 35, 39 seconds exactly.
What?
39 seconds. 39 seconds. 39!
The old cripple swore on his oath that it was 15.
He may have been a little off on the speed that the old man walked at, but 24 seconds off. Well, now,
Far be it for me to call anyone a liar. and even allowing for quite a difference in speed between the old man and you, but there's still quite
Quite
a...
a discrepancy.
Exactly. I'm thinking that he was trying to get to the door and he heard somebody racing down the stairs and just assumed it was the boy.
I think that's possible.
Assumed? Now listen to me, you people. I've seen all kinds of dishonesty in my day. But this little display takes the cake.
What dishonesty?
Tell him. In here with your heart bleeding all over the floor about slum kids and injustice, and you make up these wild stories, and you've got some soft-hearted old ladies listening to you. Well, I'm not. I'm getting real sick of you. What's the matter with you people? This kid is guilty. He's got to burn. We're letting him slip through our fingers.
Our fingers? Are you his executioner?
I'm one of them.
Perhaps you'd like to pull the
For
switch.
this kid, you bet I'd like to pull the switch.
Oh, I'm sorry for you.
Don't start with me.
What it must feel like to want to pull the switch.
Shut up.
You're a sadist.
Shut up.
You want this boy to die because you personally want it, not because of the facts. You're a beast. You disgust me.
Shut up. I'll kill him. I'll kill him.
You don't really mean you're going to kill me, do you?